I wanted to see because House of the Dragon season finales tonight. So final episode. What do you hope to see? What do you think's going to happen? And what do you think of the season so far? We've touched on it, but did you ever finish the last episode? You told me you and her watched like 20 minutes or something, or had 20 minutes left.
Yeah, no, we finished it.
Okay.
How did it end? So again, spoiler alert, gonna talk about this in depth. I don't want to censor myself. I just want to talk about what,
I completely agree.
all the details. The ending, I think the ending was just homeboy getting his dragon back.
Yeah. Remember? Remember I texted you and I said, "Oh man, how did Sunfire come back?" And you're like, "What?" I'm like, "Dude, how did they get Frankenstein back?" Because I realized you didn't. I was like, "I thought you finished it." And I'm like, "Oh man, I screwed it up." I loved it. Yeah, it did end like that. So yeah, what did
That was
you?
the ending, right? Yeah,
I
they
do
just get
think so. Yeah.
obliterated. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I so okay. I'm gonna make a guess because I don't know, and I haven't. I was really into Game of Thrones. I don't know. It's weird. I was more into Game of Thrones than I am into House of Dragons. House of the Dragons. Is it House of the Dragon or House of Drag? I always check that
House
up.
of Dragon, House of the Dragons. That's probably like that sounds like a Bruce Lee movie from the 1970s, does it not? There's got to be a
House
dragon
of
movie with Bruce Lee.
yeah, Flaming Dragon or something.
So many dragons and flying swords with those
Th-
Asian movies.
this one's good. It's good. I think it's very different from the vibe of Game of Thrones, which I don't mind. And honestly, that was it. Episode 3 where they take over the city.
It was 2 or 3.
2 or 3. That was an insane episode. I
They
think
just
that was
went
honestly,
for it.
yeah. I think that might have been one of the best episodes of the whole show as far as like standouts. But okay, the burn victim. What is
Aegon,
his Aegon? So Aegon,
the burn victim, just a guy in the ER with level 3 burns. The burn victim.
yeah. I'm so bad with names and I'm so dyslexic. And then you're giving me a show with everyone has an A in front of their name. Aegon, Argon, Aragon. It's just like, dude,
And
kill
there's
me.
7 of each one of.
Yeah, and they're all also everyone looks like everyone's blonde. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I'm
Yep.
like, wait, hold on. Is that one of the kids, or is that? Oh no, that's not the kid. That's the girl that married one of the kids. And it's like but
Yep. Yep.
it's
Yep.
just confused. Sometimes I'm confused in the show. It's, but overall, I think it's really good. I really like it. I want to say so. I haven't read, but this is just my guess. Aegon, I feel like takes over. Is that
I mean, okay, like
okay? Okay.
no, no,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. Okay.
Someone
Yeah.
they've been caught in something. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I think because you've obviously read it. That's just my kind of guess and my kind of vibe of it. And then it's also building up into, dude. I hate myself for not knowing the names, but Damon and Mr. One Eye.
Aemon, Aemon,
Aemon.
and yeah,
See, that's what I'm
Aemon.
talking about. Aegon,
It's too much.
Aemon.
Yeah, yeah,
So Aemon, I feel like Aemon and Damien are gonna throw down,
yep.
which there's also a build up to that. The only dude, this is not last episode, but here we go again. Homeboy getting shot in the face with the arrow.
Yeah, Kristen Cole.
Yeah, Kristen Cole. What a letdown. I'm still thinking about that.
Okay, so why did you think it was a letdown? Did you want him to go out in a blaze of glory? Because I think it was cool that they took that away from him because he's such a douchebag. But at the same time, I kind of wanted to see it. So
Game of Thrones and some of House of the Dragon has kind of a Star Wars vibe where there's Jedis. They're like there's kind of like there's Jedis basically with swords. You know what I mean? Like there's some guys that
oh yeah,
I want to
okay.
see. Like I want to see some like sword play. You know what I mean? I want to see like people just going back and forth. That's what I've been hyped for, and it's been mostly dragons. But obviously, that's in the name of the show. you know? And so I'm
Yeah.
like, I would love to see some just, some sword fighting. And that's when I was like, oh, Sir Kristen, I was like, I thought he was gonna, I was hoping because he's really good with combat and he's a knight and he's really renowned for him and, you know, sword fighting and all that. I thought he was going to throw down on the battlefield. And I
Yeah.
thought it was going to be, I knew he was going to die, but I was like, oh, I thought he was, I thought it was going to be, he'd get some bodies down. But it was also interesting because, he has this whole thing of this build up and it's very ego based where he's like, I'm the man, I'm going to go out in a blaze of glory. You're going to be talking about me. And and it's like, nope, Sniper just iced you, you know? So,
I was kind of hoping he would because he did have a cool thing where it was also kind of annoying because like when Sir Gawain, the guy with the red hair, is like, "This is out of control. I'm leaving." I'm like, I like that guy by the way too. He's pretty badass. He's like underrated. Sir Gawain he's really cool. Seems to have a good heart. Yeah, yeah, exactly. But I was hoping that like this, I wasn't rooting for Sir Kristen, but he was. The poor guy's out there sniffing panties. He's not getting the wins he wants, and I'm kind of just hoping that at least he's gonna die, but like he is the best in the realm. He trained all the kids, so like let him go. And then they do the thing they always do, where they take away what you think's gonna happen, and they shoot him in the face. So that happened in Game of Thrones. We never saw like we did see Arthur Dayne go off. We never saw Jamie go off. We didn't see. We saw Ned Stark fight once. We saw Jon Snow obviously go like his you saw him all the time, but like we never saw the best in the realm that they always talked about go off. So the best in the realm with House of the Dragon, we've seen a few, but yeah, it's like we didn't see Sir Kristen like take out 15 guys, which would have been probably easy for him. You know,
all right, what do you
yeah,
think? What's been your highlight? I guess we could probably talk about that when the next episode comes out. But what are you most excited for? What do you think is going to happen? I don't know, but you might have read up on this, so you might already know what's going to
yeah.
happen.
I
But
can't tell you what I'm most excited for, but let me. Oh, okay, I know how to do it. I'll say what I'm most excited for based on what we've already seen in the show. So the guy that doesn't like smells. See, me too, because me and Nikki are like, you're like that too. I come inside, there's something, I'll start investigating because I've had it in the house. I'm like, is it the trash, the dishwasher, or the sink? So when he's like sniffing the oil and everything, people are coming with muddy boots. I love it. I'm like, this guy is just us totally. He's also like such a pompous twat. It's so funny, and he is such an animal. So obviously he's in Tumbletown, whatever. He's mentoring. What is it called? Tumble Run, WWE House of the Tumble Run. So Tumbleton. So they're trying to lure him out. So I'm looking forward to the main battle because it's in the preview. Daemon and all of the Rivermen and the Northmen and his dragon versus. All right, you saw the last one, so Ulf, the guy that piece of trash, Ulf, that is always rebelling. Not that they didn't give. I mean, they were mistreating him, so it's not like he didn't have a. It's weird because like yeah, they mistreated him, but he was so disrespectful. We kind of had it coming, but he's going to be on the green side. So it's going to be a pretty good battle. I'm looking forward to
so
that.
I got a question real quick. There is something in there was one of the there was one story that they tell where there was like a huge battle where basically all the dragons died off because all the dragons fought each other.
Oh, like in
Is that
from the dream that Damon had, where
yeah,
all the dragons are dead and stuff.
yeah.
Okay,
So I don't know because basically, when you get to Game of Thrones, there's no dragons. They're all dead.
you're right. Yep.
So and also I think they kept getting smaller and smaller apparently because they were going over the skulls and stuff like that. So I'm wondering if this is maybe one of those battles where like, okay, we're down to a couple dragons on one or two. I don't.
Yeah.
It's also sad. I hate watching the dragons get hurt.
Oh, it's man. Yeah, when they start screaming and everything. One of the hardest ones is when Jace dies and his dragon is drowning. I didn't care that Jace got shot up with arrows because you always watching people die. But when the dragon started drowning, I'm like, dude, this is too much. And I know they're not real, but it has the mammal instincts, and it's like you hear the noises. Yeah, it's the most. I hate it. But no, to answer your question, I don't think this is a battle that culminates with all the dragons going off on each other because you still have Vagar that's like nobody knows where it's at. And well, this hadn't happened in the show yet, but I'll just say this. When they had all the dragons, they probably should have struck because you're seeing people change size. They're having different ideas and they are running the kingdom into the ground. They don't have money. The gold cloaks left. They should have, in my opinion, immediately gone to another kingdom and taken it over. Like, if you don't have the resources, like the gold, you can't pay anybody, you can't feed the townspeople, you can't do anything. That should have been handled immediately. Whether you go take Lannisters or that one lady in the Reach, or if you have to go to like Bravos or even get a loan from the Iron Bank, that needs to be handled. They have run this city terribly, honestly. I think I told this other person I watched in Ashley's family, we watched it together. I was like, Daemon and Rhaenyra they would be good as conquerors the same way Daenerys was. Daenerys was not a good ruler. She was good at war games. She was good at, what do you call it? Delegating to the troops, making sure we're taking over, freeing all the slaves, getting people pumped up, all the people behind her. She was a wartime person, not a ruler. I see that with Rhaenyra. Rhaenyra sucks at ruling. And if her and Daemon had just gone on taking over, that's probably, because that's kind of what the Targaryens do, like Aegon the Conqueror. They're like a wartime people. I don't think they're made for ruling. That's just my opinion. And it's known, I can say this, Daenerys is the descendant of Daemon and Rhaenyra. So like they got that conqueror blood. And I just think that maybe Daemon and Rhaenyra, they should have, I think they're like a wartime thing. They're not really made for doing all this action and all this this fun, this adrenaline, and sitting on a throne and listening to people that lost their sheep. That's not what I think they should be doing.
Yeah, they're not good at managing. That's for sure.
Good at exactly.
Yeah, they're not good. They're not good managers. They're definitely good at they're almost like, if you're thinking about them as in a business sense, they're good at startups. They're not good at maintaining. They're not good at, they got some really good ideas and they can just go, but you don't want them managing the company because they'll run into the ground. And also they're probably getting stir crazy, but yeah, I agree. And also, two things you said, when you have all the power, you want to strike, right? Strike when you're at the peak.
Yeah. And not an impulsive strike, like a thought out, planned, immediate strike,
Yes. But also you have guys that you have pulled from, they've given dragons to all basically homeless people, and so
peasants. Yeah.
Yeah. Peasants.
Well, what did you think was going to happen?
And
they
so
haven't been through training. They haven't been disciplined.
No. And also they're not, you throw one, they don't have any money. Daemon, everyone's broke, and you're gonna get a guy with a dragon that's broke, that's getting beat up in the street, and it's like, yeah, of course this guy's gonna want to sway if you throw up some cold, you know what I mean, or you give them a legitimacy, or you turn them into a lord instead of a knight. So yeah, it's like, I don't know, it's really weird. Like they should have definitely, like, I'm thinking this in terms of who is real life, but like you should need to mentor these. You got to mentor these guys. You got to mentor them, take care of them, train them, manage them correctly. You're giving Dragon and telling him to, a guy that was basically a drunk, a couple weeks ago, you're giving him a dragon and telling him that he can't go out, and he's a party guy. He's like, well, he's going to go into the streets. He's going to find some fun. But yeah, I think that was a huge loss. Daemon was right. They should have kept basically going out, and like, if you don't have money, just like in real life, if you're running low on funds, you go and you go to another village and you take that village over, and you take their resources. And yeah, agreed that they should have done that.
And they could have done that. They had 4 dragons at the time. The 2 guys that, like you said, the homeless guys, they were loyal. They had just been given some opportunity, but like it is kind of like what you said. Like, what did you think was going to happen? You take these two homeless guys that don't have any money and no training, you give them like nuclear weapons with ultimate power. Man, no one could have saw this coming. So, yeah, it could have kept a handle on it a little bit better. Hopefully, well, not hopefully, I know what happens, but it has been an amazing season. Had some good character arcs. I think it's been really, really good content. Last season, people were upset because it was a lot of talk. There was no action because there was a lot of like Rhaenyra was in Dragonstone not doing much and Daemon was off just having visions and Harrenhal the whole time. And people were like, there's no battles going on. This is boring. So now there's battles going on. And I think it's awesome this season. And people are like, well, Allison and Rhaenyra, they're making stupid decisions and it's just not going anywhere. And it's like, well, we talked about that last season or last episode, but I like it. I really do. And I'm not a big fan of Aegon. You know, he's not the most moral person, but you know, he was about to go off with, he was willing to go out and fight. I didn't know if he was a wuss or not. And he was about to just get killed. He was like, I'm done running. This is a waste of time. And the Lannister guy, I thought he was kind of just an opportunist huckster as well. And he was about to just die right next to him. And I was like, didn't see that coming from these two people.
No.
So
yeah, they definitely pulled. They're almost like a little story arc for them.
Yeah.
You know, like as far as like two guys that were kind of more opportunistic cowards, like you were saying.
Yeah.
And then they were like, all right, cool, last stand. I'm gonna throw down. Yeah.
So good. And I didn't think Laris would leave too either.
This season, like you said, best season.
Yeah, I think so too.
Best season. Yeah, hands down. Action. Every episode, really good pacing. The only episode I did not like is where she's and I know why they did it. One, it's a little bit of a filler, but two, it gives you just introspection into, you know, what she's dealing with, you know, like when she's running the kingdom and how she's not good at
she's not a ruling.
Is that one episode where it's basically just her on the throne hearing everyone, and then she's kind of like sweating, you know, she's doing the Mr. Krabs thing, like, oh, you know, like,
yeah.
So that was the only episode where I was like, I was kind of getting stressed out from watching it.
Yes, I remember the music. It was like a guitar string was breaking.
Yeah. Ding.
Yeah, now I remember that.
Ding.
It was the episode. Ding. It was the episode after what we thought was the best episode, where they just take everything. I think it was the episode after that.
That also was like this. Like it was just boom and then boom. Like just those two episodes back to back. It was like, holy crap, best episode. And then I'm like, what am I? I'm like, whoa. But
that overall, episode was like a season finale, followed by the start of a season. I don't know. Very weird.
Yeah. No, literally. Yeah, that was like episode 1, season 4 episode for sure.
So I'm hoping to see a good final battle. I want to see where Aegon and the Lannister people are. I want to see if Daemon finds out that. I honestly think Daemon already knows that Rhaenyra's messing with that spy girl, and I don't think he cares. Because it's two girls, you know, it's not really real, you know. So so it's not really the same thing if Rhaenyra was with a guy, right? It's not the same thing. So I think he already knows. He's a weirdo, so he's probably like, this is hilarious. What a bunch of idiots. I'd be interesting to see if he does find out and think something. And then I want to see where the other dragon guy, what happens with him, because he just like lost his wife. The other dragon guy with the Hugh Hammer. I want to see where he's at. And then who else? I want to see what happened with Lord Colas, because he just lost his finger. That's all I can think of.
I'm very interested in.
Oh yeah, I forgot about him. Yeah, with the Aemond and One Eye.
You know, it was interesting. He also messed up, and this is just an ego thing on his part. He effed up when there was a scene with the dragons just in the lake, and he's drinking water, and she's basically like trying to get hooked up. Like she's like, hey, like I need money or something like that, or I think she wanted land or something. And it's like, dude, this woman's a witch. Like she's a backstabber. Like if she doesn't get what she wants, if she doesn't get it from you, she's gonna get it from someone else.
Right. Yeah. When she was talking to Daemon trying to get the land, or when she was talking to Aemon trying to make a family doing.
When she was talking with Daemon, I think
That's right. Yeah.
earlier in this season, they were talking. I think it might have been after a battle or right before one. And she was basically talking about getting land, and he was just laughing at her, like, "I'm not going to give you," which I thought was funny. I thought,
so you think he made the right decision? Because she wanted Harrenhal.
no. I think he should have hooked her up somehow.
That's
I don't,
what I thought.
like,
Yeah.
hey, I can't give you this, but I'll give you this. I mean, he kind of just told her to kick rocks, and then she was like, "Cool, I'm gonna go.
Right.
I'm gonna go find it somewhere else." And then now she can manipulate, homeboy and
They haven't made a lot of good decisions this season. And you can see when they were united, they did make a great decision, and they locked in, took the throne, and everything else that they've tried to that they have done ever since has been a disaster. So, yeah, I wonder who is, and I think they're doing one more season. So I think so. Let me see. Yeah, how many? Let me see. Yeah, we're on the third. How many seasons of House Dragon are set to be made? Okay, it's going to end with season 4. All right, cool. So, oh gosh, 2028. Yeah, and they're coming up with some other ones, like you just saw, Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and I think that was good. It wasn't so. They've kind of tightened up the craziness on every season. So the next season, they're going to do a lot of spinoffs, and I think the next one is Aegon's conquering, like when he first came over. I think they're going to do that. So I'd love to see that in Robert's Rebellion again, like when Ned Stark and Robert go against the Mad King before the Game of Thrones stuff. So, oh yeah, yeah.
So I really liked and enjoyed the.
I think 200. I think, yeah, might be less. Aegon the Conqueror, when he came over from Valyria, I think it was, and took over the Seven Kingdoms, and that's when you had. Well, that was way back. That was before Robert's Rebellion and everything. Yeah, that would be the furthest jump back I think that we've seen.
That was before this show. That was before House of the Dragon.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yeah. Because Aemon, One Eye, he wears Aegon. Nope. Aegon that has the burned face. What do you call him? 3rd-degree burn guy? The burn victim.
Victim.
He wears Aegon the Conqueror's armor. And his brother, Aemon the One Eye, has the Conqueror's sword. And then Daemon, he has that 6 sword. That's Aegon the Conqueror's sister wife's sword, Visenya, that rode the dragon. I've gone I mean, I have time in the warehouse. Yeah, not good. Yeah, I think, well, I don't want to say that, but yeah, I think I think Daemon or George R. Martin, he might be into some. He's a naughty boy. I'll just say that.
Yeah, I don't want to know what his search history is.